All right, there is a brand new aviation museum open for folks in the 608.
Josh Breider's live in Broadhead this morning with that story. Hey, Josh.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, brand new aviation museum, and it's free and open to the public right now. There's a lot to check out here. We're learning a lot of history already this morning. And right now, the collections manager of the museum, Ami Eckerd-Lee, is with us. And you get excited. I can tell you just have a lot of energy this morning because this stuff is just so cool and so unique to the area.
Absolutely. This is kind of a gem of a place in Wisconsin, but in the world. And I love our displays, and I love the things that we can bring to people. And my favorite for sure is the airmail display. We're standing in front of it right now because it can be hard to explain to people why vintage aviation is important anymore. And that's one of our main goals here at the museum, is to show that the things that were invented then and developed then influence us to this day. And airmail is one of those things. If we didn't have airmail almost just 100 years ago, we wouldn't have Amazon Prime today. It's hard to imagine, but snail mail was so fast back then. To get a letter across the country in 2 days, oh my gosh.
And there's so much history in just where we started to where we are today. It all had kind of a rhythm, right? And there was a timeline to all of it.
Yes. So the airmail, the United States airmail service was started in 1918, and it was driven forward by the Assistant Postmaster General, and he said it's really important that we do this. It's way better than a train, and not everybody agreed with him. He really pushed for it, and that's what made airmail. There were costs. It was extremely dangerous at the beginning. We were just using surplus warplanes from World War I. They were rickety sometimes and just not very reliable in terms of weather and open cockpit with the weather. There were so many developments because of that, though, because really quickly it became obvious that those planes would not work for airmail. So, new airplanes were invented, new ways of navigating. There were no navigational tools, no radios, nothing. You just had a compass and you looked for landmarks. And if it was the nighttime, they started flying night routes in 1924, you looked for beacons or fires that a farmer had lit on the ground.
Much different times.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about, you have a lot of these posters up here. A lot of these pilots are big name pilots, again, that kind of transformed where we are today.
Yeah, absolutely. The airmail pilots were a really brave and daring group of people. In fact, they were called the Suicide Club because so many of them died flying the mail. It was that dangerous. This is my friend Wild Bill Hobson. He flew the airmail starting in 1918. He flew for about 10 years, and he did end up dying on the route. But he, for example, in the 20s, in an average year, he had 25 forced landings, mostly because of weather. They weren't crashes or anything, but 25 forced landings. Now,
in a year.
Yeah, you don't want any.
Yeah.
That's one every 2 weeks.
But we can credit a lot of these folks for where we are today in the airline industry.
Yes, and in the span that he was working from the first 10 years, the first decade, we went from losing half our pilots to none. So that's huge.
Yeah, so this is something that all folks can check out right now. You guys opened up here within the last few weeks. So what do people need to know? Because it is free to get in.
Yes. So we're a nonprofit, so we rely on donations, but totally free, open to the public, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday. We love to have families and kids come out. We have a kids area, craft table, ways of getting involved and immersed in aviation. It's not inaccessible. It's for everybody.
Awesome. Well, we love it. Thank you so much, Amy. We appreciate it. Of course, we're just getting started here, guys. I have all the details up on channel3000.com, but I think later on they're going to get me in one of these things, so you're going to want to stick around. I hear it's a little bit of a process to get into one of these old airplanes, so should be some fun. We're going to do that around 6:45, but we have a lot to look forward to coming up at 6 o'clock.
This place is so cool, and it's free.
Yeah, it's really something, man. Just how nice everything looks. It looks all clean.
Right.
Probably smells new. I want to go check it out. I do. I want to take a
it's wonderful. Yeah,
Josh
it's pretty
Breider.
great, guys.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Madison. Very cool. Josh, thank you very much.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. Reach out on social media. Email him in the 608 at WICTV.com.